What's up, everybody? Shawn Patrick Greene. I'm here. I'm back. I have my voice back, too. Holy cow. I cannot believe it. I actually can talk normal. I'm amazed. It's a miracle. God is so good. I really can't explain to you how good God is. I personally did not think I would even make it this far today, to this point. It's August 29th, 2023. I've been on hiatus since July 14th, 2023. So that's about a month and a half. For those people who are just tuning into this program, maybe for the first time, or for the first time in a while on my YouTube channel. On the YouTube channel, I have 3 videos updating you on my health condition. So that might help you guys understand what's been going on if you were following along. And some people were just passively just checking it out. But I thank you guys, first of all, for all the support, all the thoughts. I mean, a lot of people say thoughts and prayers, don't do enough. But, I'll take a thought. I was appreciative of the people who thought about me during this situation. Thoughts, prayers, any other support, any encouraging words, everything. I completely thank everybody for their generosity and their thoughts. With that being said, I'll get to the point of what happened. So you can see on my website, ShawnPGreene.com. I did a couple vlogs, video logs, which is a kind of like a recap of my stay. The interesting thing is my last broadcast in this chair was July 11th. Little did I know 3 days later, that I'd be admitted to the emergency room July 14th in Mercy Hospital. Little did I know. And then I was finally discharged from Strong Memorial August 10th, which is the last video recap I did. I want to see if I got, go to my website, ShawnPGreene.com. ShawnPGreene. And I got those couple more links there. But you can go to the YouTube channel from there to see. I basically had my camera, my cell phone, to broadcast what was going on there. And so this is the first time in almost 45 days, roughly, that I've sat in this chair to do a broadcast. So what happened is I had a heart attack. That was on that day, Friday, July 14th, was considered my 4th heart attack. But I didn't realize the 3 before that were heart attacks. I passed those off. I passed them off as like heat stroke. A little tingling in my head, shortness of breath. It wasn't super hot or humid, but I felt like maybe I was just a little too much. I was overwhelmed by, you know, just something. I don't know what happened, but I managed to make it through the next week, which I think is the 19th. Let me check the date on that. Might have to be able to check the date because dates, could be important to some people. So let's go back a month. July 14th, Friday, and then the following week on the 19th of Wednesday, went to the surgeon's table and had open heart surgery, a single bypass. My left side was very weak, so they installed what they call an impella, not impala, the animal, but an impella external pump, the line through up my leg and then also to the side of me, to my heart. It helped my heart pump blood because it was so weak. So that I was on that for 2 weeks. I believe it was 2 weeks. Yeah. So the 19th of July through, I want to say, they took me off of that. I think, geez, I don't even know. The second, maybe. I have to double check my dates. But 2 or 3 weeks I was on that, and then they discharged me August 10th and let me go home. And I had this thing called a life vest, which is it's like a defibrillator, and it has sensors on it, and it looks like a man's bra. And it's a company called Zoll that's that basically is renting it to me. Here's the pack for it, the battery pack, Zoll life vest. So I gotta, plug that sucker in, and this line goes to the life vest. It monitors stuff that's happening with me, and so far has not gone off. It usually will go off if the blood pressure or your heart pumps, it gets too high, and it hasn't been too high. It's been actually good lately. It is actually too low for many, many weeks. After the Impella, they were giving me medication to see if my heart can pump on its own, and they determined that that's fine. So it did. Started pumping on its own. They discharged me the 10th. The following week, the 17th of August, they removed the staples that were on the side here. I got an incision on the front here. It's healing really well. And now the staples that were removed here are healing really well. I had also in my growing, I had some staples that were taken out sometime during the beginning of this month. And I'm healing. By the grace of God, I'm healing. They said my heart is a little stronger. It's not where I should be yet, but that's why the medication is part of it. Also exercise. I was doing some physical training or PT with some of the nurses. And, I'm just taking my time. I wasn't really, I thought I can handle more than I could. I'll get to that in a second. But post-discharge, August 10th till now, what is it, 19 days since I've been discharged. Have had a couple things go on. On the 16th of August, Wednesday morning at 3 a.m., I got up to go to the bathroom. I couldn't make it to the past couple steps outside the bedroom. I had to come back, As I was coming back through the threshold of the bedroom, I got real dizzy. I got real dizzy and I passed out. So, and I fell and I hit my head in the dresser. What I'll do is I'll just kind of show you. It's healing up now, but it was a pretty significant gash that was bleeding. Significant gash that was bleeding. From that fall. So, but here I am somehow. Okay, so I talked to the nurses. I got this company called the Visiting Nurses Association, paid for through the veterans. That helps, check on me every now and then, and so almost 2 or 3 times a week, I got a PT or somebody check my blood pressure, had somebody take blood work, a couple different things that they do to help make sure that everything is going well with me. Today I took another walk around that block of my house, my neighborhood, which is my second one since being back. And I really have to tell you, I'm not that dizzy as I used to be. I mean, it's still a little bit of a brain fog, but it's not like I'm dizzy and I have to sit still and sit down all day. Although I do rest, I'm resting. All right. So after my spill, I finally, the next day, Wednesday after I was okay. Just a little, I patched up a little bit from bleeding and no laceration that needed to be, needed to be. Good morning, Mama. Watching on YouTube. So good to see and hear you. You are a true miracle. Yes, God is the one that's the miracle maker. Hallelujah for that. And yeah, for some reason I'm here. And I was talking to my mother too, asking her questions because apparently when I was, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old, early 70s, I had the croup, and back then medical advances weren't as great, so I was I guess for a week or so, I was in a bubble or like an incubator in a hospital bed just to make sure I can breathe and not catch anything. So from that point till this year, I really haven't had too many medical problems. I mean, minor stuff like the average flus or something like that, but nothing that needed to be hospitalized for long term for. 2017, I had a torn rotator cuff surgery, but that was, you know, in and out within a couple hours back home. That I healed up pretty quickly with, so did pretty good. But now this is a completely different animal that I had to deal with. But by the grace of God, I'm here. I'm not giving it to anything else but my Creator. So I got regular water with sugar-free food, not food coloring, but the sun-kissed drinks, sun-kissed packets, zero sugar. So I'm on a strict low sugar, low sodium diet. All contributed to the heart attack, which cholesterol, weak, weak heart, and type 2 diabetes. I was up to 350 or 12 is my A1C. So that now has been reduced. I'm at averaging 125 blood sugar pretty much all day. So that's a good thing. I had some low blood pressure for a couple mornings since after discharge, even during, the hospital, pumping me full of insulin and meds and all kinds of stuff. And I just, talked to the doctor, and reduced a couple things so that the dizziness is not as proficient, and I'm not low blood pressure in the morning. Just getting an update on the storm. I will catch up with you in your show. Yes. So, my mother, as well as my family, father, brother, sister, cousins, aunts, uncles, several people in my mother's side of the family, they live down in Florida, and they're in the Tampa Bay area. So they're very much on high alert with this weather situation to see what's going to happen. So, um, we're kind of watching that. Just give me a second. I'm also, you can call me, okay? 716-253-1870 if you want to just chime in. Text, you can text me if you want to make a text comment. Go to Facebook, you go to YouTube. I'm live on both streams, plus the Twitch. So if you want to comment on any of those platforms, you do so as well. My mother apparently is on YouTube commenting. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to get a second, visual camera for my cell phone, just because I want to. I'm not trying to do that. Give me a second. Be patient with me. I'm trying to. I got to switch back. Switch back to Shawn P. Greene. So, ShawnPGreene.com. Please give me your comments. Please give me your, whatever you would like to comment about. So the other thing, I know this is not something you really want to worry about, but the weekend after I was discharged, so August 10th is a Thursday. Friday, the next day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. For those of you that don't know, I'm a filmmaker, producer, actor. I do a lot of fun stuff here and there when I get a chance, but there's this competition. It's annual. It's called the 48-Hour Film Project. And if you go to my website, you'll see under projects, you'll see the Too Much Bowl, which is the production company. I named it. I'll tell you why in a second. And then also there's a link from that to my story of the Buffalo 48-Hour Film Project. And kind of like give you an idea of where I've been with it, so to speak. So that weekend, my team, Too Much Bowl, created a film called America's Oldest Gems. I'll show you that on our website in a second here. I'm just trying to get myself the second camera. I don't know why I want to do that, but why not? Use my cell phone as a second camera, inviting myself. If you want to be on camera with me, that's another option. Just instant message me on Facebook and I'll give you the link for it. Love to have anybody come on for a conversation. Or you could just call, voice only, Google Voice. Joe Gargano and Pat Passions, they were reacting to me being on the show. Thank you. If you're still there listening. Okay, and Joe Gargano, Uncle Joe's Cafe. Joe's a cool dude, man. He's been in yeah, come check me out if you want to check me out, family. Let me get to this real quick. One more second. So my team, Too Much Bowl, wants to take this film project we did, America's Oldest Gems, and maybe do a full-length documentary or mockumentary or something. But we're gonna do something. I'm gonna do more projects. I'm not jumping into things. Okay, relax. I know a lot of people are concerned. I'm trying to do too much too soon. But I didn't participate as much as I would like to have for the 48-hour film project. I played armchair quarterback, as I posted on Facebook. Basically, I was from my right here, and I was being live streamed via Zoom through a laptop for this project. So, okay, entering the studio for the second camera, and so I basically was just trying to at least have a cameo of some sort. And what I was doing was enjoying, you know, the updates that my team was giving me. Hey, Paula Brickhouse. Hey, may have to catch up later. Great to see you. No problem. I understand during the day it's kind of rough for people to participate. Um, we'll get back to you too as well. Love you, and I thank you and your husband for coming to visit. Tom, he came out. Both of you came out to visit me in Strong Memorial in Rochester. So I thank you guys and I appreciate you. So Buffalo 48-hour film project was a very big deal to me because it's the time that we get a chance to have fun with, you know, talent in our region, in our area. Okay, this camera's taking some time here. So just be patient with me. The project was so fun. I really loved the project, and they did such a good job without me being physically present there. Now there were some things that I felt like, okay, I had to make a suggestion on some things, tweaking here and there, but really the total project could have had no input from me for it to be successful. But just because I know the rules of the game of this episode or of this project, then I know what to kind of how to direct technically so that we're not disqualified or what have you. Okay. My display name, give me a second. Sorry. Debbie Sudan, I see you. I'm going to respond to you in a second. Okay, so now I'm in here. I think the second camera is coming. Debbie Sudan. Debbie, you are missed. Yes, you guys are missed too. I miss you, Debbie. I miss playing with my team at the Bread of Life Church. We do we do worship. You know, I think it was a rotating schedule for a while, but we got like 4 worship teams at our church at the Bread of Life. And lately, we went from 2 of us being the drummer, 2 of us playing drums, to one kind of bowing out to me having this situation, and I'm trying to figure out why my camera does not want to work on this phone. Backstage. All right. Hmm. So, anyways, yeah, sorry about that pause there. So Debbie Sudin is one of the keyboardists in one of the groups that we play with, and I miss playing with my worship team members. Really miss worship in general. Now, it's not that I haven't been listening to it at home, because I have been. I'm just kind of getting refilled. I'm just getting, you know what I'm saying, inspired, getting got closer to God. And actually, in essence, I was actually very much stored up for the moment to be in the hospital, because back, I would say, since 2022, I think it started in February 2022 for me. I felt there was a shifting, and I felt it weeks, couple weeks before, if not days before, when right when Russia attacked Ukraine. If you look back at my podcast, I started it right in the beginning of February again last year, and I just started. That was my moment to start moving forward with the things of God and get closer to God and that kind of stuff, and getting back to doing podcasts and stuff like that, broadcasting. And then for the last year and a half, I just kind of like little by little, more and more, just getting closer to God and understanding the Word of God more and more deeper worship, and just a lot of good things God has been doing with me. But I just noticed that there was a shift even before that invasion, and I just I think I was listening to the calling of God early before this thing happened to me. So to be ready, you know what I mean, to be stored up with with God's peace, like a full load of the peace of God before I had this heart attack. And I can't tell you how it is, but God has gave me. And I explained this to one of my cardio doctors at Strong Memorial, who happened to be a Christian, who couldn't share her faith because she could be sued. Was very happy that I was sharing my faith while I was in a visit. Oh man, got so many stories to tell you. I'm actually writing a book because I want to be detailed about these stories, and I want to let people know just how much God was in the middle of this situation. But man, I tell you what, my peace was stored up and prepared me for these moments, this last month and a half. We're praying for you, Jesus, coming back soon. Amen. Yes, Nancy, it's good to see you. Good to see you last week. I haven't seen you in so long. What a blessing that was to see you. Hope to see more of you. It's actually one of my aunts, uh, via my mother's side of the family. Cousin Renee was over last week, and she came to drop her or pick her up or something to that effect. Dropped her off, and I was like, I'm not letting her get by without me giving her a hug and saying hi to her. So she stopped over and got a chance to see her. Okay. So, anyways, my camera's not working on my other phone, so I'm not gonna even worry about it. Just disregard all this. All right. So, man, what a blessing that was. I had a visit initially when I got called into, you know, brought into the EMS, brought me to Mercy. Pastor Mike Stratton, Pastor Frank Monteleone from a Bread of Life Church, they visited right away. And my uncle Roger Roberts Rainville, came to visit that day as well. And of course, Rosemary Feliciano's been there every step of the way. Not only has she been helping me out when I needed help, but she's been taking care of Mariah without me for that month. And God brought help. God made a way. Excuse me. God made a way for Mariah to be cared for and had support so that Rosemary also could work and make some money. God provided. We didn't have to beg, borrow, steal, or nothing. Neither one of us. And people still got paid for watching her. So that's a blessing right there. I can't tell you, man, the amazing things. But I told my doctor a couple weeks ago, the cardio rehab doctor, I said, since the moment that I had that heart attack till now, I've had total peace. And that's a peace that surpasses all understanding. And I've been there to the ICU at Strong in the cardio unit. Well, there's a lot of people, they don't have peace sitting there in their hospital beds. Some people don't even have people in their lives. Some people, they're worriers or hypochondriacs or even some people. One gentleman in particular was just angry. He was there cussing out the staff that was helping him. Just saying, yeah, I've had tons of heart attacks. Don't touch me, all this stuff, cussing them out. I mean, it was interesting. There's a lot of different reactions to stuff like this. And for me to know that God gave me peace through the whole thing is a miracle in itself. Let alone God using this opportunity, healing me, sustaining me, sustaining everything else in our lives. And lo and behold, it seemed that I was making a bigger impact being at my weakest than I have been at any moment in my life being the strongest, or what I would think I'm the strongest. And that's a lesson of when we are weak, He is strong. That's the lesson. I mean, it's just being incapacitated or decommissioned or whatever you want to call it, even for a season. It can feel like you're not doing anything. But that's the point. God wants to tell you it's Him. It's all Him. You don't have to do anything. Now, yeah, we take steps of faith and we just keep walking by faith. But we're His hands and feet. But it's Him doing it through us when we work in the kingdom of God, when we do things for Him. If we don't, then we're doing things for ourselves. We're doing it for our own glory. And He's not going to share the glory, but He will give you the benefits when He gets the glory. Man, ain't that a message right there? Mm-mm-mm. Girl, child, that's right. My inner black woman's coming out today. All right now. Sorry. For those people who think that that's racist, you're highly mistaken. I have so much respect for everybody of every color, race, creed, background, even religion. Because there are a lot of people that are genuine in their faith. But like Jesus said on the cross, Jesus forgive them for they know not what they do. So, you know, my people perish because lack of knowledge. It's just the ignorance of God, God Almighty, the Father, Abba, Yahweh, the ignorance of who He is. And I was telling somebody too, several people I've been talking about this. God has been using this phrase, and I've heard it from past two people in my past, preachers and teachers. But people attribute who God is according to their relationship to their earthly father. So if their earthly father abandoned them, abused them, rejected them, despised them, mistreated them, anything in a negative way, a lot of people attribute God the Father in that light. And that's not who He is. That's not the God I serve. Uncle Billy, good to see you doing so well. Jesus is Lord, Uncle Billy. Love you, brother. Can't wait to fellowship with you again. I miss our Wednesday morning Bible studies. Depending on how I feel tomorrow morning, we'll see if I can make it. Uncle Billy and I last year were the only two in Bible study Wednesday mornings for many, many months. We had Eileen Smith as one of our worship leaders, was going through pretty intense trial by fire with cancer and a lot of other ailments, and she's gotten through it. I mean, a year of it, really going through a lot, and she was kind of like the anchor sister, and so a lot of women that would show up didn't want to be the only woman if it was just me and Billy, so they wouldn't show up. But me and Billy faithfully stayed in on that Bible study through the whole book of what was it? What did we read? Acts. The whole book of Acts. Went through the whole book together. And man, what a intense study that was. We followed that up with Daniel and Esther, and the ladies started joining us as Eileen came back. But Uncle Billy's been my buddy, and nobody cuts up, quite like him, and he's always ready for a joke or a sarcastic remark or something, and I'm always ready to respond in kind. So getting ready to go back to my church fellowship. I missed this past Sunday, which I heard was really well attended. There was a fellowship after Kobe Madisick, a young 23-year-old, 25-year-old, did the preaching, and didn't live stream, but it was recorded, so I worked on that this morning. That will be broadcast tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. on the Bread of Life Church's YouTube channel, so if anybody wants to know. But getting back to what God is doing. God doesn't require us to do anything, and He doesn't need us. He shares in the benefits of him getting the glory to us. He works through us. It's not that we give him permission. It's he gives us permission to be used of him. It's him. It's all him. God the Father, Abba. The Almighty God, Yahweh. He's the one that, he's everything. And he sent his son, Jesus Christ, Son of the living God, to redeem people, humans, us, ones that transgressed against the Father, so that we can have fellowship with him. And so this last 6 months before this heart attack, even, what was it, July 7th month? Man, from February through June, it's been very intense in worship. My daughter and I have been really laughing a lot. We watch some messages online and get filled with the glory of God and the Spirit of God and the power of love of God in you, and you can't help but to reacting with joy once you understand and get the revelation of what it is. I'm getting it now. The joy of the Lord is my strength, and it has been throughout this whole process. And all I've been doing is just sharing that joy with whomever wants to hear it. The staff at Strong Memorial Hospital, people that visit from my church that came, or family members that came to visit, the visiting nurses, whoever I'm coming in contact with. I can't help but the share of the glory and the love of God, man. It's so powerful. If you can tap in, if you don't know the love of God, I pray that you do soon, because it's so great. It's such a great feeling. And the key to me understanding a deeper relationship with God was what he was telling me was forgiveness. So in December of 2022, he told me, forgive. You want to know what love is? Forgive. So my hashtag I've been putting online is set free in 23. And how are you set free? Forgive. People that hurt you, people that abandoned you, people that despised you, people that betrayed you, people that just did ill things about, spoke ill of you behind your back. Forgive them. Forgive them. That's the hardest thing to do, especially us human beings, that we're so prideful to think that we don't, what's the phrase a lot of people over the years, especially in the South, as long as I got my pride, I'm good. I got my pride. I still got my pride. That's what it is. It's pride that's keeping you from really letting go and forgiving. Man, that's the lesson I've been learning since December. And as the year was progressing, I was learning more and more. Wow, how to forgive everything, everybody. I was, and I would have to say, since February, I've been set free completely of bitterness, of anger. I'm set free. Now, there's not to say that sometimes I try to, what we say, we'd be tripping. Sometimes I'll say something stupid, sarcastic, not to be mean, but, of being offended by a comment that was said to me or something. But you gotta quickly let that kind of thing go, man. You gotta let it go. You gotta let things go, man. Pastor Dominic Shapani, passed away a couple years ago. think 7 years ago already. He was always talking about, he doesn't get offended. When I first heard that out of him, I'm like, I've never heard anybody say that before. I thought everybody gets offended. And most of the time they do because of pride. That's it. They're proud and they don't forgive. So they'll be offended all the time. And I think I said it once before, years before. Being in Buffalo, sometimes you get a chip on your shoulder and you respond with, like you're in the ready position all the time. Like nobody's going to get me or nobody's going to offend me or whatever. But yet, that all that stuff's you got to let it go, man. You got to let things go. Let whatever it is that you're trying to hold on to, you got to let that go. You can't try to attack everybody like I have. You can't do that. You got to let it go. And that's the process I've been in since December. Learning to forgive. And the more that I've let go, the more I let go, the more I'm understanding God's forgiveness, Abba's love, unconditional love. I'm learning more and more because of that. Think about this. God has forgiven humanity. He saved, always he kept a remnant of humanity, of the human race. Never destroyed everybody. He just got to a point where his wrath was so waxed hot. He wanted to do away with the creation that he made. And he saved a remnant because he had plans still for his creation. And the flood was the biggest one that a lot of people like, why did God kill everybody? Or why does God allow things happening to bad people? So on and so forth. It's because humans have free will. That is the bottom line. We have the free will to forgive. We have the free will to hold on to our pride and kill people. But for no reason. For stupid reasons, mostly. I mean, there's no reason to kill anybody. Period. My heart goes out to this weekend. Jacksonville, Florida. It's reminiscent of what happened in Buffalo May 14th last year. It's the same exact motive. I'm not getting into gun laws. I'm not getting into mental whatever, health. Because those two are fleshly human things. They're focused on the flesh and that natural, part of humans. It's deeper than all that. It's what's in the heart of man. If anybody understands about heart things now, it's me. Going through a heart attack, being in the cardio ICU unit. You want to talk about a lesson on first the natural, then the spiritual. Your heart condition and what you have to do to get your physical heart repaired. I mean, I've been through this process. I'm not done yet. It's going to be a couple more months for me before I probably could say I'm close to 100% if all goes well. I'm praying for God to sustain me and to continue to heal me and bring me stronger. But if anybody has been meditating on heart conditions of the soul, it's me. Been reflecting on that stuff. The innermost being of you that's not tangible. The heart of a human being's soul, their spirit, the inside of them. That's the root of everything when it comes to all these things going on. I'm not going to, mental health is a real thing. You can take drugs. You could be on, you know, mind control situations like gaming is a mind control situation. Okay. Don't tell me that it's not, because it's addicting. It's like a drug. If you're shooting up people in the game and you feel like, man, I keep dying, what's the drug? You want to keep that dopamine hit going, so you want to keep playing. You want to win. You want to conquer this levels or whatever. That's the way it was when it first came out. Mario Brothers, whatever, Donkey Kong. You're always try to be the best at everything. Frogger. I know I'm aging myself now. But all these things contribute to mental illness. But that's not the root of it. What got you to play those games in the first place? Boredom. Maybe you were mistreated by somebody and you take it out on, people that are playing the video games with you. There's a lot of things, not a lot of reasons why you would want to do all that kind of stuff, but I digress. It's a heart condition. It's a spiritually depleted heart. You don't work on it. You feed your heart evil. You feed your heart things. You feed things in your heart that will destroy it. So let me get back to I'm going to be writing this book, and you're going to get more details, but here's the bottom line. My issue with my physical heart was diabetes type 2 and high cholesterol, very high. And my doctor told me I should start on insulin and a statin, a couple other things, because she was concerned about, my heart, could have a heart attack potential. What did I do? I did not listen. I did not take and heed the warnings of my primary care doctor on these situations. And so this is what led to it. So I'm not going to blame Satan, and I'm not going to blame God. It's all me. I made that decision. It was my free will to be this way. So here we go back to the free will. This is what everybody has a choice, but every choice has a consequence. That's it. You don't listen, pay the consequence. So some of these people that are innocently being murdered. Let's get back to that subject. There's a lot of different people, okay? It's not just white people killing black people. But right now, that is the subject still. And then AR-15s being legal, and then people can acquire them, all that stuff. These are all political, earthly things they're talking about. But the bottom line is it's a spiritual issue. This young man was passed down information, and he took it to heart, this information, that black people are the problem. Same thing happens to other people. Chinese people killing whites, black people killing whites in the South or in South Africa. You name it. It's all over this world, man. I mean, tribes against tribes, ethnos against ethnos. It's not just the color issue, too. It's also tribes of the same color. Whites killing whites, blacks killing blacks all over the world. Do you think Ukraine and Russia are killing each other because of race? No. They're the same race. They're almost the same DNA. Came from the same gene pool, the Caucasus. So I'm not gonna buy into the politicized version of the purpose of what's going on. The mental health issue is the poisoning passed down from generation to generation, and the garbage that's feeding the young people today through video games online. That's garbage. That is what's contributing to the heart of man, is that crap. And here's an analogy in the natural. This is what I want to do. I want to eat box of Twinkies all day. If I do that, what am I going to do? I'm going to kill myself. Deplete all nutrients in my body, high sodium, high sugar, and it's going to cause damage to me. Okay? So if you do that, and then in a spiritual sense too, if you feed that heart of yours garbage, you're going to kill yourself. And in essence, you will not like who you are. And if you don't like who you are, you reflect that on people who you think caused that insecurity. So it's deep. It's a deep subject. I have the answers for everything. But, politicians won't listen to me. They're not going to listen to a lonely 50-year-old man from South Buffalo who doesn't have a million followers, subscribers. He's just an opinionated, some guy, just trying to think he's got the answers. So, bottom line is, it's check everything. Check your heart. I'm sorry. What happened? Just leave her. She's fine. Yeah, she's fine. So, bottom line is, I'm going to have to go in a minute here, but I just wanted to, excuse me, to chime in here because it's such a long time since I sat here and had a conversation with my fellow subscribers. Once again, ShawnPGreene.com. Call, Instagram, whatever you want to do. Message me. Any comments? If you agree or disagree with my commentary today. But I'm just grateful that, all of you that were watching and supporting and visiting and, had a desire to cook or something, like everybody wanted to do something. And I told my pastor, I says, I'm good. I don't need anything. God's providing. Just thank you for prayers, and I will see you again shortly. And they just kept praying, and grateful for the prayers. I believe God answers those prayers. There's going to be a lot of things in the future that's coming up for me that I'm looking forward to. As far as I know, I'm still on schedule to speak at Bread of Life Church September 20th. It's a Wednesday night. So if you're in the Buffalo area, Western New York, I'm going to be speaking that night. So it'll be kind of like my testimony, but it'll be also a lesson that I was going to teach. I was scheduled to do it July 26th, I think. Thank you, Paula. Yes, I believe I'm going to be completely healed. My heart functioning was at 33%, they called it. And I have this life vest on to make sure that I'm above 30 until I'm above 35 at least. That's their comfort level to understand that I'm in good shape. But a normal person's level is between 50 and 70. I believe I'm going to be in that range very, very soon. But I'm being patient. I'm taking my time. So God is good. God's been so gracious to me, been speaking to me, many downloads over the past year. And I want to share whatever I could with many of you, whenever that time permits. I mean, I'm willing to speak at other churches. You know, if anybody would have me, I'll come to your church and speak on a Wednesday night or a Sunday night or whatever. Just let me know. I would love to share a deeper understanding of what God has been showing me. Keep praying for me. Pray for my cousin Lynette Rainville, uh, cousin Chris Rainville, my uncle Roger Rainville, my dad Robert Greene, my mother Carol Greene. You know, pray for everybody because we've been under attack for a little bit, and sometimes it's us that opens that door for that attack, but God has grace and mercy for us anyways. And don't discredit the power of prayer. Don't discredit the power of prayer. And I want to not close yet, but I do want to explain a little bit more. During Uncle Jack too, yes, Uncle Jack. So there's a lot of things going on in our families. Thank you, Mom. A lot of things going on in our family that require some prayer, continued prayer. But I know a lot of families are going through stuff, and we're not exempt when we're not the exception. But God is so good to us as we allow Him to be everything for us. God's got everything for us already. He sees things that we don't see. He already has things prepared for us, waiting for us to get our act together, so to speak. Now, Jesus died on the cross once and for all. The sins are already forgiven. We just have to accept Him as Lord and Savior and have our sins washed away. God sees that sin no more. Doesn't see us as a sinner. We don't crucify Jesus every week. The sacrifice was made once and for all. But as far as God's grace, man, He had mercy. In the Old Testament, there's a lot of mercy that people were praying for. And there's only a few times where I saw grace, like Noah. The grace of God was all over Noah. He was a just man. But that grace wasn't available to everybody. Only those that were justified by faith or were just in their right standing with God. But now, because Christ died for us, we have grace available to us just by accepting Jesus Christ as our Lord, as our Savior, the Son of the living God. I believe God is going to use you in an amazing way like never before. He already has, even without my effort. God just shows me that that's not going to be about me, If anything, my pride, if there was any pride left after the situation, it's completely been challenged. And I hope the challenge is your pride too. I hope you get the revelation knowledge of how great your Father in heaven is. No matter how much your Father on earth was a disappointment, your Father in heaven is everything. Your Abba, Yahweh. He's all in all. So, and I just want to show, it's a testimony too. This team that I have called Too Much Bowl. It's my new logo for it. I can show you a little bit. We did a short film this year, and again, I was home, sitting here during that weekend. God just had me resting. But this team did a phenomenal job, made a funny film, uh, great talent. This is what I like about the Buffalo 48 Hour Film Project, is that you get to see the talent in your city. And man, I'll tell you what, we are nothing short in Buffalo of talent in filmmaking, producing, directing, cinematography, editing, script writing, acting. I mean, there's nothing, set design, lighting design. My team had it all this time, and I wasn't even there. And that shows you that, hey, God's going to move in people without you. God's going to do things without you. So, and my short film I created called After All, interesting enough, that I did in 2019, just got an award, best short film, inspiration award for the participation of the Buffalo Fire Department. Story about people having PTSD after 9/11. That's basically what the story was. And this couple people's story about how they're coping with the post 9/11 PTSD. Everybody had different background stories, and we got awards for that. Paula Brizzolaro is one of our worship leaders at the Bread of Life Church. She got an award for Best Supporting Actress. How about that? That's kind of cool. We had two Best Supporting Actresses. My buddy Carl Miles got Best Supporting Actor. And then David, or the guy that played David, Michael Chase is his stage name, or Ciesla is how his name is on, I don't know. So he got Best Actor. Amazing. So I'm proud of that team from 2019. Ben Chatfield, Derek Edgerton, and his father, Derek Sr. I think they're junior and senior, but both Derek's Edgerton. Kimberly and Chris, a couple that were part of the film. Kimberly got Best Supporting Actress as well. And Alan Warren was a part of it. He did sound. He was in it. Frank Cristofanelli was in it. Drummer that plays locally. His sister-in-law, Patsy Cristofanelli, who's a singer, actress, and Paulina was in it. It was great, man. We had such a good time making that film. And it was a tiring effort, but that team did a good job, and we got awards for it 4 years after the fact. So I'm proud of that team. So grateful for them. I'll give you a little glimpse. There you go. Here's the Michael. He's the one that got Best Supporting Actor.
Hello, I'm attorney Howie Feldstein. If you're injured by a foul ball, if you're injured at all, give Feldstein a call.
That's Paula, Best Actress.
Okay, we have to come back to that. But
I did a little voiceover. Wasn't the best, but
story. We are getting reports that the World Trade Center was just hit by a passenger plane. Do we have that picture? Okay, we have limited information, but it appears that we have some eyewitnesses phoning in reports. Time is 9:01 a.m. New York time. We will attempt to confirm as the story develops, but at approximately 8:45 a.m. Oh my. Another plane just hit.
There's Carl.
These pictures are frightening.
And there's Kim. That's one that got the Best Supporting Actress as well.
The president said it was terrorism. Look,
Dave did
made up
great.
my mind.
Or Michael, I'm sorry,
Mom,
did really
I
good.
gotta go. I'll talk to you later.
So
Bye.
I'm going to pause it, but I just want to show you that, excuse me, it was a good cast. I really enjoyed working with these people. Very limited crew, but it was a great crew. And, you know, I'm grateful for that. You know, you go to my website once again, go to ShawnPGreene.com, go to projects, Too Much Bowl. Here are the links of all the 5 different films. These are all the 5 films that we did. So you can check them out at your leisure. But after all, got awards. Really happy about that. Absolution is another cool one. Our local female celebrity, Mercedes E. Wilson. It's Channel 7. She was on AM Buffalo. She does a Christmas thing every year. Mercedes Wilson Christmas special. She's got her own salsa called Sadie's Relish, and that's in stores everywhere in Western New York. Talking about Tops and Wegmans. So she's doing really good. Entrepreneur talent. It's amazing. She's in that. Absolution. Keep It Clean was my comedy. We had David and Lori Pelton playing the pastor and his wife. We did it was like a volleyball tournament. That's the first year that Jane Vendetti joined the team, and she was like the main character that we had to have in the film. Plunger. She was a plumber. The next year in 60 seconds, she became a director, assistant director. I just had so much confidence in her skills and understanding that at the end of it, I let her go and direct the rest of the film. And she did a phenomenal job, and she did so good that this year she directed the film that we did which is called America's Oldest Gems. And we had such a good reaction to that. So August 11th, 12th, and 13th, they produced this film. I was home. The following weekend, I think it's 18th and 19th, they screened it at the North Park Theater. It's one of a 400-seater, I think, North Buffalo area on Hurdle Avenue. And people were just raving about it. And people are just really happy about where we went with it. So I'll give you a little glimpse of it. People loved it. So
in the small town of Greensville, New York, social norms are challenged and retirement homes buzz with excitement as America's longest-running senior beauty pageant rolls around. The 85th annual Silver Cougar pageant has arrived, and with last year's champion out of the contest, this race is wide open. These are America's oldest gems.
I made the poster for this too, by the way. You'll see it on the Facebook page. Too Much Bull. Facebook, Too Much Bull. So Mark Tremont, or Tremont.
So you guys live in this thing?
Well, not on a regular basis, but we do live there for most of the year. We're traveling constantly for B to do all of these pageants.
Oh yeah, it's just been a wonderful experience. I'll tell you, Joffrey got me into it because I'm finally eligible this year to do the pageant. So we decided, well, might as well go on the circuit, right, honey?
This is the big one. So
I
we've been
know.
looking forward all year long for this
Yes.
one. Yes.
It's like you guys got here really early.
Oh,
We want to be on time. And you know what they say? If you're on time, you're late.
oh yeah.
So we're here. We're here. We're ready to go.
Early bird gets the worm.
Yes. Oh, Bee, isn't she great? Isn't she great?
I know, and then of course we had to try out those new looks. Oh,
Yes.
Joffrey
Yeah,
has been practicing some new looks as far as eye makeup goes. So
Mark
we
is
thought we'd get here, you settle in.
executive producer,
Do a little playing around.
And so here we are.
assistant
My name is
director,
Lars Oaks,
and an actor in this one.
and I will be directing the 85th annual Green's
This,
pageant.
hang on.
This beautiful annual Greensville Silver Cougar pageant. This beautiful woman, Assistant Principal Brenda Weatherby, has won the competition 18 consecutive years. This year, we will crown a new Silver Cougar. This is an extremely competitive
There's Jane.
competition. But I don't think anyone
This is a
will
newcomer
ever
for
take
our
the place
team,
of our 18-time
Cindy.
winner, the beautiful Brenda.
And also,
She taught me everything I know
Sarah.
about this pageant and about life.
that's Sarah.
I'm from Gary, Indiana originally. Oh, well, and how I got here is that I met my husband at the National Used Car
I just want to give you a
Salesman
glimpse of it.
Convention in
Not
Gary.
giving it away totally. So, Fanny Seymour. So, Jane was the director for this project. She did such an awesome job putting whatever she did, directing it. And then, of course, the cinematographer and editor is what made them shine. Tomas Waz. I can't say enough about him because he, from last year and this year, he was my DP, which is director of photography, and my editor for both projects. And he killed both of it. He did awesome. So I'm so happy from what I seen out of this team, and especially seeing that I wasn't even there. They did a phenomenal job. So if you want to see a funny film, that's a good one. 60 Seconds is more of a drama. Keep It Clean is a comedy. Absolution is more of a drama, and After All is like is a drama. It's serious. So SeanPGreen.com/projects/2-much-bowl if you want to go check it out. Of course, got the podcasts. Bread Unlimited podcast got an award. That's another thing. God's been giving me some accolades lately. But this is the one that I am very, very much got to get back to. And I'm going to be working on this more and more. So the film festival that I was supposed to have, now the day of my heart attack, which is it was a Friday afternoon, I got back from that trip in Grand Rapids initially, setting up for our film festival. When I got back from that, the meetings that I had with the people that ran the place, and I got home, as soon as I emptied out the last thing out of my car, it was me and my daughter. That's when, bam, I got hit with that heart attack. By the grace of God, I didn't have a heart attack until I came home. So, if anything, that's a blessing right there. And I'm only two miles from where I was admitted. So, versus being on the road, having a heart attack while I'm driving, wow, that could have been messy. But God spared us of that issue. So, the film festival was supposed to be August 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Of course, I'm talking about the Great Lakes Christian Film Festival. And we were promising to have it was promising to be a great event. And we were gearing up. We had volunteers. We had people coming. I was going to bring my buddy Gary from my church, who's been my right-hand man since year 2. This is year 9. Programming, we would have been set. We had guests that we were going to bring in that were going to really elevate the festival itself, as far as status and value. We had a lot of local people in Grand Rapids or the state of Michigan that were going to be there, showcasing their talents. Just a lot of things that was about to happen. So, water under the bridge. We had to postpone that. We were going to think about different ways we could re-evaluate and salvage this 2023 film festival. So we're going to probably do a virtual in November. I'm thinking the first weekend of November, and I'll solidify that very shortly. Of course, that would be a better time for me because let's see, September, October, November. It's 3 months from the time I was discharged, roughly. So that would be a good time to do it. So maybe I'll have like a local Buffalo screening on November 4th, concluding with an online ceremony. If there's somebody participating with us, that's great. We all know that weather in November up here in this area is a hit and miss. We could have 65-degree weather with clouds or whatever. We could have 0-degree weather with 8 foot of snow. We just won't know what kind of weather we'll have here in Buffalo, so we can't really predict that. And we'll try to make this a regional event in Buffalo, New York, November 4th, 2023. But also be able to make this an online screening of many of these films. And I do have people who are willing to help me with that. So that's a good thing. Possibly, maybe we'll do one night or one day of like networking in Grand Rapids, around that time or whatever. Kind of like a simulcast, if you will, of our events, 2 different places. So, be patient with that. We're going to be planning that the next couple weeks and roll that out. So please be patient. I'm excited about it. I want to make sure that we salvage this and bring value back to this year's festival and give something for somebody who submitted their films, give them their recognitions. I'm going back to the reviewing process. We've already had nominations for many films, but we're not done yet. So once mid-September, we should have all of the films nominated, and then we'll have some sort of award ceremony November 4th, or possibly 5th. We might make a weekend out of it. So Sunday night, maybe that we'll do that online. But I want to have at least one networking day in Grand Rapids, and then one screening and networking day in Buffalo that weekend. So it's spread out in 2 different cities, and you can have your pick depending on where you live. But that will still bring people together to network, at least in their region. I know we had several people submitted films from, people submitted their films from New York State, and then many people from Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin, Chicago, and so on. A lot of people from Virginia. They're from all over. So we're gonna try to make something out of it this year. So just be patient as we plan for that. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna discuss right now. I'll probably get on the video to talk specifically to the Great Lakes Christian Film Festival community on that webpage. So I won't get into it here on my personal broadcast, but I'll get into it very, very soon on the Great Lakes Christian Film Festival Facebook, YouTube, and probably Twitter account. We'll do a live stream explaining what's the plan, and that's it. And any more questions, any more comments, please feel free. While the floor is open, open-ended questions, open-ended responses, whatever it is you want me to discuss now. We'll just, we'll give it a couple minutes. If I don't hear back from anybody other than an occasional comment, like right now, yes, praying for your family in Florida. Yes, our family is just south of the path of the eye of this next hurricane, but they're still going to have along the coastline, which the good thing is my family's not on the coast is so much. But if you're on the coast, especially within 10 miles of it, there's storm surges, there's a lot of rain, possibly flood, definitely some flash flooding. But that's on the trajectory of going to Gainesville, as far as I understand, not necessarily Tampa Bay. But my family lives 50 miles north of Tampa. So they're going to get some rain, some wind. So we're going to pray for, God to just put his hand in the middle of that. It's not what I call the nature, the act of God. That's not God creating all the weather. So, and that's it. That's all I got for those people that watched and listened and, tolerated my opinions and my projects, my future plans, and so on and so forth. I'm grateful that you're tuning in, and, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys really get a sense of who God is. That's my goals right now. I don't care about much. I just hope you get a sense of who God is. That's it. Whether I'm here or not doesn't matter. What matters is that God is your Father. He's your creator. He's the one that has the plan for you. And he wants you to know him. Know God. Know him. It's an intimate spiritual intimacy with God that he wants. So bless everybody. I'm going to put a post to most of the comments here. Bless y'all for joining me today. Y'all spelt it wrong. It's the best thing. What is it? Ving Rames said that it's the best combination since you and all from the South was put together. Y'all. Posting it now and see where it goes. It doesn't go to Facebook, but it went to YouTube and Twitch. So once again, I'm on Facebook, Shawn Patrick Greene. I'm on YouTube, Shawn P. Greene. I'm on Twitch, Shawn P. Greene. You just go to ShawnPGreene.com for all the links. And I got blogs or vlogs or whatever. I got commentary. I got posts. I got content. I got materials. But here's the thing. If you want to support me financially, if you want to give, I mean, a lot of people were trying to say, what do you want? What do you need? What could I do for you? Okay, here's a good time to do that because number one, I just got my roof fixed on my house. I got some, I got like, okay, full disclosure, about $3,000 left to pay on it. All right, so that's that. Also, we're going to be running out of funds soon if we don't have a program for my daughter Mariah. So we need funds to help support paying for help. Like today, something happened to the person that was going to be watching Mariah. And so now she's here with me. She's safe downstairs, but I'm going to be tending to her now. And I'm not really in the best condition to be tending to her because she's this, she's got disabilities. She's dependent completely, for many things. There's some things she can do on her own, but she's dependent. And in my condition, it's not really that good for me to be doing too much with her. But for now, it's only a couple hours. We're going to be fine. But, Rosemary wants to go get more work hours. And then we need more support financially to help her until we can get her in a program. She's on a waiting list that they're not offering anything right now. They say, oh yeah, this, it's something. So down below on the screen, I got a Cash App. If you got that, Shawn PG716, or PayPal, Shawn P Greene, Shawn PG716 at Gmail, or you just look up Shawn P Greene on PayPal. You go to my website, ShawnPGreene.com. It's right on the front page, all the financial things. I think Venmo is also up there. But PayPal and Cash App are my primary digital methods of receiving cash, donations. And that's also going to support everything else I'm doing. As you can see, I'm trying to do other projects. We're going to be writing a book. I'm going to be creating a feature film this year. That's going to be a special way of financing. But if you want to help support that, that could be a Patreon type situation where you're going to contribute, maybe Kickstarter or something to that effect. But there's going to be a way where you can make donations or support a project. So that's in the works. So film, book, taking care of my daughter, helping around, support for some work around my house. I gotta renovate this bathroom. It's not really, conducive for, somebody who's disabled of any kind, like, my daughter, myself, or whatever situations could occur. So any kind of support is fine. I thank you if you can. If you can't, prayers and thoughts are still acceptable. They're intangible, but they're still valuable. So anything that you could do if you want to be a part of it, whatever we're doing. I'm willing to also, as a speaker to any church, organization, function of any kind, to inspire. I think one of the things that God will use me in the future is to inspire people to make healthier choices, for one, in the natural and in the spiritual as well. So any arena will work for me. I definitely will do my best to represent whatever organization is giving me that opportunity. So appreciate that if I could. We're not doing it for funds, but love offerings or donations, that kind of stuff, can also be given through the means of speaking engagements or even sermons. I mean, I'm a well-versed Bible scholar. I'm still learning. I'm a Bible scholar, I'm a historian, and partly I'm a comedian. At least I think I am. At least I think I'm funny. My daughter thinks I'm funny. I think that's all that matters to me. Anyways, I love you guys. I love your support. I love your outpouring of love and care. I'm looking forward to getting back to church, being a part of my family, being a part of the fellowship, the mission of our church to spread the gospel to every creature, making disciples, laying our hands on the sick and they will recover. I believe in all that stuff. I believe in every bit of all that. And I believe it more so now than ever. So help support if you can. Not going to beg, borrow, and steal. Just going to ask. Ask and ye shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. So I'm asking, I'm seeking, and I'm knocking. If there's anything I could do to bring value to your organization in any way, please let me know. And I will do my best. Just like the Royal Rangers. One of my blog posts on my Facebook or my website is like a Royal Ranger. You're ready for anything. Ready to work, play, serve, obey, worship, live, etc. It's the motto. I still live by that. Always ready. I'm not in the ready position as a South Buffalonian to fight people. Matter of fact, I'll close with this. I made a joke that, I'm going to go to Notre Dame and I'm going to protest the cultural appropriation of the fighting Irish character. Because we're not all fighting. Are we? Fight me. I'll let you know if I'm a fighter or not. Oh boy. I was prophesied to be a warrior. So I believe that and I accept that. So got stuff coming up and I need your help financially. That's all I'm going to say. But come on down to church September 20th, a Wednesday night, if you want to be a part of a message that God's given me throughout this whole process, even before this process began. My heart condition and what's God's revealing to me even more by then. Looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm blessed by all of you. Thank you. I want to shout out to my cousin Kimberly, who just stepped in and said, you know what, I'm going to be your healthcare proxy, whether you like it or not. I'm like, hey, I'm sitting in the hospital bed just after post-surgery. I'm like, you ain't going to see no resistance from me. And I completely trust her. So, shout out to her. Shout out to Kelly, my cousin, and her husband, Kevin, for getting me a phone charger and some glasses so I can see what I'm reading on my phone. When I basically had nothing but my cell phone with me, my clothing, and a hospital smock. Thank you guys for helping me. The small things. Thank you to the pastors of my church when they came to visit. Excuse me, man, I got the hiccups now. And worship leader Paula and Pat Brizzolaro came. We had communion week after my surgery. I was just full of the joy of the Lord, man. God was just filling me with joy. And I just loved it. I love it. I just love the joy of the Lord, man. There's nothing else like it. He needs you, Kim, to keep him in line so he doesn't go overdo it. Kim's still overdoing it. What are you talking about? So there's my little message to everybody. That's my Twitch account, Shawn P. Greene, on screen. And then my YouTube channel, Shawn P. Greene. So I want to thank you for everything you guys have done. I ask everybody to continue praying for your total 100% healing. This is Mom. And we agreed he is going to give you a brand new heart. That's right. It's one of the things that God showed me. Renewing me a clean heart, a new heart. Renew it in me. God is in the renewing process. God's in the renewing business. It's going to be my message till I die now of how great God is. How great he is. Finally, I got my voice back after, over a month of being hoarse from that trach thing that was in me to breathe. Messed up my vocal cords for a couple weeks. Minor stuff, but it means a lot because I had to breathe every syllable, every sentence when I was talking. And it was kind of like, you watch my videos, see I was raspy. So, God bless you guys. Thank you. I really love you guys. I really love all you people who are, even the 7 of you right now that are watching live. The 8, I think we got up to 9 live at one point. I just thank you for just listening. Let me talk. Let me share my heart, literally. And let you into the world that God has put me in. I got a lot to share. And feel free to go back and watch all my other YouTube videos of my show if you're bored, or if you just want to kind of get an idea of where I've been this last year and a half. I think this is we considered, I don't know, maybe this will be season 4 now. Maybe this will be our first episode of season 4. But it seems like I launch my seasons in the beginning of the year. So maybe I'm still on the tail end of season 3. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Label it what you want. But 2023, it's quite a year for me. It's in the books. And it's one of those memories I'll never forget. But it's a God world that we're living in. It's a God thing. And we are in this world, but we are not of it. We're in it to win it, but we're not of it. God is good all the time. Blessings, peace to everybody. Once again, bless y'all for joining me today. Shawn P. Greene Show, ShawnPGreene.com. Please, if you can donate. Check out all my social media. Everything's got something different on there. I think I'm going to be getting into TikTok a little bit more this time with some short messages. So stay tuned for that. And that's it. That's all I got. I think I'm done. I think I beat a dead horse on this show. And just thank you for listening to my garb. And stay tuned. We'll try to resume this every Tuesday morning, 11:30, like we were doing before. So Tuesday next week, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And maybe if you guys want to call this time and text me, maybe I'll get that call and text. Or you can actually join the video too, if you're interested. So, all right, peace, y'all. Love you.